Welcome to Come Knit With Me. What we are going to do is your friend Jane Radis, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. She has given me a pattern that she created called Machine Knitting Zigzag Panels using short rows. And this is what it is. This is your foundation wedge. Is it this way? Yeah. Either way, this is your foundation wedge. This is your, it says left facing wedge only because you're working this way. And that makes it a left. And then this is your right facing wedge. And this is your final wedge. I did it in separate colors so that you could see where the change is. It'll be right here before the inside V. And then right here after you've done the point, you'll change. Okay, so let us get started. And do not be upset or frustrated if it takes several tries to get this done. I think I've done this about, I lost count, sorry, over 6 to get it right. So we're going to cast on 11 stitches. Now I'm using what the pattern has. Now you can, according to the pattern, you can have any width cast on, but it's got to be done in an odd number. And I'm doing it as the pattern reads, so it'll be less confusing. Okay, foundation wedge. You cast on the 11 stitches, and your carriage is on the right. You're going to push all but the rightmost 3 needles into hold position. Okay, so these 3 go into work position. Going to knit a row, and that'll be on 3 stitches only. And once you've knitted that row, doesn't tell you, but common sense here, you put a weight on it and wrap the next stitch. What a wrap is you just take the yarn, go under and up. So the yarn is coming up between the next 2 stitches. Okay. Then knit back. It's jammed somewhere. Okay. Now you're going to knit. We did knit the row. Then we're going to push the next 2 needles into work position. Come and join me close. And you're going to knit the row. Wrap the next stitch, which take it down and up. Not the third one, but between the next 2. And knit the row. Feel free to add more weights if you think it's getting wonky. Feel free to move the yarn up. Try not to split the yarn, which is easy to do. You know that. And you knit it. There, I forgot. Going to put the next 2 in work position and then knit a row. Then we're going to put the next stitch into work and knit back. Put the next 2 into work and knit back and wrap. And knit back. Now you're putting the last 2 into work position And we're going to, after pushing the last 2 needles into work position, we're going to knit 3 rows. 1, 2, and 3. Now, that does 2 things. That finishes off the foundation wedge and puts the carriage on the left-hand side, which it needs to be for the next. Now, I'm going to change colors. That's so that you can see the difference. And I'm going to go gray. Okay, let me get a little clip. Well, gotta knit the 3 rows first. Like I said, don't be upset if you do this a couple times. So it's, or did I? I did already. Okay, let's try this one again. Okay, so I want the gray. Any color really, it's just to change colors so you can see it. But you'd want, if you're doing it, you want to go with the solid, all the colors. Okay, so it says push the rightmost 2 needles into hold position. Okay. And then knit a row. Wrap that stitch. Don't put any into the work position yet. You got to do that over here. Okay, and I have a stubborn stitch that didn't want to stitch. I usually move the weight up so it holds that in place. I'll go like just like that to hold it in place. And now we're going to knit put the work, sorry about that. Now we're going to put the next 2, let's move my weights here. Put the next 2 into hold position and I have some stubborn thread. Okay, get 1 row, wrap, first stitch, didn't want to stitch, and then finish up the next row. I like moving my weights as I do it. Put the next 2 into work, hold position, excuse me. And wrap and knit and 2 into work hold position and knit and wrap and knit and 2 and knit the last stitch and wrap and knit back. Now, we're not quite done with that wedge. We are right here. I'm going to hold it the way that it is on the machine. We are right here. We still got this portion to do. Okay, so we put the first 2 back into work. Make sure that the latches are open or you will drop stitches. That first one does not like to stitch for me. Now if you look here at the stitches themselves, this one has 2 stitches on it. Skip, that one has 1. This has 2, 1, 2, 1, and then the 3 that started is all blank. That's what you're looking for. Now when you come back the other direction, the one that had 2 now has 3. That tells me that these need to go back into work position. These have 2. This one has 3. So that means you've got to put 2 more into work position. Sometimes my weights gets twisted on me. Okay, so wrap and knit. And work 2 and knit. And wrap. And knit, and work 2, and knit, and wrap, and knit. That is why you have to make sure that your latches are open. But it's no biggie. I'm just holding them snugly onto the work. And I'm just slowly, calmly rehanging it. Sometimes you could take off the weights while you do this and hang them back on. Excuse me. Okay. Now this row should have stitched, but it didn't. So latches are all open. Let's try that again. There we go. Now, you see how we got the 2? Let me back it up there a little bit. Put the 2 in the work. Now this is telling me, latches are open, that I'm going to be doing 3 rows. 1, 2, and 3. That puts my carriage on the right. That tells me I'm changing my wedge. Okay. Now, if you were making an afghan with this, you would continue on with the whole, it'd be just one color. Each row counting this as a row, each row or section, you'd want a different color. Okay, now you don't want to just knit, okay? Because you did your 3, now we're going to start the right. Now the right says, push the leftmost 2 needles into hold position. That's easy. Work exactly like the left facing point, but with everything reversed. And you're going to end with the carriage on the left. That's actually easy. I get forgetful. You want to knit, minus the 2, and wrap. Knit, hold 2, knit, wrap 1, knit, hold 2, knit, wrap 1, knit, hold 2, knit, wrap 1. Now I want to put my weights up a little bit on here because I've only got 3 stitches. Knit. Now these 2 will go into hold. Now what you can do is knit this manually. So you knit the excuse me, knit the row, wrap, then knit again. Okay. Now that puts us right here. Okay, so we're going to continue up there. Okay, 2 and work. We're still finishing up that 1 wedge. Wrap. Two and work. Knit, wrap, knit. Because we're doing short rolling, which is what this is you have to move your scale, your weight up often. Okay, so we knit, wrap, knit, 2 and hold with the latches open, knit, wrap, knit. Now if you're doing more than 11 stitches, you'll just keep following that 2 and work, knit, wrap, knit, 2 and all the way till you get the last 2. You put them into hold work position. And you're going to knit 3 rows. 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is the foundation. This is the left facing point, and this is the right facing point. Now we're going to start on the final wedge. Okay? And for that, I am going to use this blue again. See my scissors and cut these up. I'm just using old yarn for right now. Okay. Clip these 2 together. There is a slight color change, which you'll be able to see shortly. Okay, so you don't want to just blindly knit the row. Okay, we are doing the final wedge. Push the leftmost 2 needles into hold position. Okay. Sorry about that. Cat's having a nuts. Okay, knit the row, wrap, get back, 2 and hold, knit, wrap, knit, 2 and hold, knit. Now some people wrap by pulling the needle back and pushing it back forward. Sometimes it's easier. Hang on. There we go. Knit. 2 and work. Hold. Knit. Wrap. Knit. 2 and hold. Gonna knit 1. Hold. And knit, and then we start. If you were making a strip for a blanket, you would just continue this all the way up. But because I'm finishing, the last line is continue to work back and forth on 3 needles, which is what I just did. Don't push the last 2 needles into hold, which I did, so I'm going to take it apart. And that's stitch 2. Okay. And then it says, push all needles into working position with latches open. Double check they're open. Okay, now you're going to knit the next row very loosely. And one of the easier ways of doing it, if you're using, by the way, I use Keep Play 2.5, and I don't feel like getting the other, excuse me, Keep Play. So I have a rod that I'm just going to put in the back there, and that's going to be my stopping point. So I'm going to go 1, and just knit the row by hand. And it makes a little bit of a larger stitch. And another way you could do it, this is my latch opener. Now I'm holding the needles that I've stitched into place so that I can go ahead and knit the rest of the rows without them coming up and joining me. Okay. You can see how I have longer needles, longer stitch in these cases. And what I'm going to do, use my latch tool, and I'm not going to do it on this side of it. I'm going to start at this side of it. It's the end opposite where the working yard ended up. And just, now you can do whatever bind off you like. This actually is quite simple. You just have to remember you need a longer stitch than what you did the work in. And if I had prepared better, since I did it 2.5, I'd probably put a 3.5 key plate in. Now at one point here shortly, take off the weights. Now I'm pinching that stitch. Because cats are running from one end of the house to the other, so sorry. And close that, snip it. Oops, sorry. And there's your wedge using short row. Now if you look at this, remember that short row? Doesn't that look like a sock heel? See? If you don't see the other part of it. Very handy stitch to take your time and learn. Okay, and again, this is the machine knitting zigzag panels using short rowing. And it's from Jane, it's R-A-D-A-T-Z. Okay. And you can use any number of stitches you want, any odd, as long as it's an odd number. And what you get, let's see if I can show you. This is her pattern. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Oh, great. It's backwards. I forget, this camera does in mirror form. So I'll put the name down in the description. Hi, and thank you for coming to knit with me. We shall get back and do another one. I'm planning on doing, now this is on the bond, but I want to do it on, I have 3 machines available. I want to do it on all 3 machines so that you can see the difference between one from another. Okay?